Last week on Along for the Ride, the Kubota Cup's Western Division moved to Edmonton, Alberta, where Jim Ifko and Freddie 84 came in 10th. Jacqueline Duff and Fanta came in 9th. And Beta Wachter and Cascarina withdrew to fight another day. This week, we're back in Edmonton following Western Division leader Emily George, fellow rookie and teammate Kelly Koss, and Olympian Lisa Carlson as they go head-to-head for points and prize money in Saturday's $35,000 Kubota Cup Grand Prix. The City of Champions is about to live up to its nickname. Out at Northlands, Western Canada's top show jumpers are getting ready for this week's Kubota Cup, a pivotal Grand Prix in the fight to win the Kubota Cup's Western Championship.
Edmonton is the second of 3 stops of the Kubota Series in the Western Division. The Edmonton track is quite large, the infield there. Sometimes with the race track, it sets some horses off, especially if they got a lot of thoroughbred in them. Just the way it's set up, it's not really closed in. You just have to get out there in the first night in the welcome class and get a feeling of what your horse likes and doesn't.
Field here is very interesting. We have some amazing veterans such as Jonathan Aslan, Gary Brewster, Lisa Carlson. We also have some rookies like Kelly and myself. Should really bring an interesting dynamic to the competition.
The rookies against the old guys is always a rivalry, and it's an ongoing one. And I think they're getting a little bit scared, actually, for all of us.
And the designer this week is Peter Holmes.
This week's Kubota is going to be the toughest test of the week. Today's Wednesday. We're starting off with opening courses, and we're going to progressively build more difficult until we get to the Saturday's test, the ultimate test, the Kubota Cup. It's a big test to design for the Kubota Cup, and requires a team effort, and we have a very good crew here, and one of my assistants is Chris Jones.
Okay, good. Well, this week I'm pretty much assisting Peter and helping him with little things like where the timers should be set so he doesn't have to run around and look at everything. And basically I'm a young course designer that wants to become a Peter one day. From what I've seen of Peter's Kubota Cup courses, it's going to be tough for both the rookies and the veterans out there. It's going to be a great Kubota Cup class.
Looks good. Excellent.
I actually have a pretty unique family history. Horses have been in my blood for a very long time, ever since I was born. Started with my grandparents starting Spruce Meadows back in 1975. Both my mom and my aunt rode quite competitively. My aunt went to the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. My stepdad just recently competed in the 2000 Sydney Olympics, and I basically have been on a horse ever since I was a very, very little girl. I love it, which is the good thing, and Coolio loves it as well. And we have such a great partnership, but he likes being the only one for me, actually. So he would prefer it if there was no one else that I would ride.
It's Thursday morning, 2 days before the Kubota, and rookie Kelly Koss has her hands full, even though Coolio's in the next stall.
I have to tell you right now, Coolio's a little annoyed right now. Hey! And he doesn't like that I pay attention to other horses.
Typical of Kelly, she's quickly got Coolio back on track, which is a good sign, because after a 17th place finish in Brandon, the pressure's on.
It's going to take a really a great ride for me and Coolio to get back in the hunt. I currently am ranked 17th in the series. That's about 112 points, but it's only 40 points out of 5th place. So really it's achievable to bump back in there if I do have a great ride on Saturday. After Brandon, I didn't have the best performance. I was really nervous going in, and I think this time it's going to be a lot different. I ride right now at Attaché Stables. It's in Calgary, Alberta. And I train with my stepdad, Jonathan Aslan, and he's here with me this weekend, as well as a bunch of our clients and stablemates, including Emily George, who won the first Kubota Cup, as well as Jenna Thompson, who also rides pretty intensely with me, and a lot of my friends as well. I've been training with Jonathan for the last 4 years. He's a great coach, and he really does a great job of treating me just like any other person that he teaches. He's very tough, and he's a perfectionist just because he's had so much experience. Over the years, my horsepower has been of great quality, except I haven't had the best of luck, which has led me actually to a different time now where I have two really great horses, which is Coolio and Chilera. Coolio's an 8-year-old Hanoverian gelding. He's a very hot horse. He has a lot of blood, but he also has a lot of power. And because he's Hanoverian, he's just got a lot more muscle than a normal thoroughbred would have. He's a little bit younger, which makes him a little bit more inexperienced. He also has some weaknesses where, because he's young, his attention span isn't very large. He'll be looking at the people in the stands or the music. I have to stuff his ears so he doesn't hear any of it. He also, if it's raining out, he's quite a bit of a baby about the bad footing, and he doesn't like stepping on squishy ground. And then to try to focus all that onto jumping big jumps is really quite a difficult thing. I mean, Oxers, because they're wider, sometimes he forgets there's a back rail. He will forget to jump the other half sometimes. I love him, but he is quite a bit of a handful. My second Grand Prix horse is Chilera. She's an 11-year-old Holsteiner mare. She's so much different than Coolio. She's quiet, she's easygoing, she doesn't care about the crowds. She really likes kids and really is a joy to ride. However, she's injured right now, which I'm very sad about. We've already had a long season, and so I don't want to push her. We're going to be competing in the lower divisions this week, and hopefully to get her more comfortable at where she's at. It's tough enough going into the Kubota with two horses, and now that I only have one, it makes it a lot more difficult, especially going up against such big names like Jonathan and Frank Salinger and Lisa Carlson. There's that side of it, as well as there's this huge rookie class that's coming up, which are my friends, but they're just as competitive as me, so it just makes it for a really intensive time. If I have one hurdle this week, as the same for Coolio, it will be our nerves. We're both inexperienced, and it's my first year being in the Grand Prix, and he's a young horse. So Saturday at the Ingate, I know I'm going to be nervous. I need to make sure that I change my game plan and not be as nervous as I was in Brandon, because I need to focus on the job that has to get done.
Thursday afternoon, Kelly gets ready for a ride in the Level 4 Junior Amateur class and has serious difficulty with Chilera in the warm-up. The class proves equally challenging, with 12 faults finishing out of the money.
Hey, so a great start to the week, hey?
2 hours later, the ATCO Cup is underway. While Coolio is looking confident, the real question is Kelly's state of mind. Will the tough ride on Chilera have an effect on this performance? 11th in. The pair start and deliver a respectable ride from start to finish. With one rail and a time fault, there's a reason to celebrate.
I'm just ecstatic after the afternoon I had, and I was happy that I could just come back and be myself when it matters.
Friday, Kelly and Coolio take it easy with an afternoon hack with teammate Emily George and Kelly's dad, who later proves he's a top contender for tomorrow's Kubota Cup, finishing 2nd, 6th, and 8th in the $20,000 National Bank Financial Paramount Energy Trust Dash for Cash.
Had a pretty rough morning. I ended up actually pulling off on Chilera in the warm-up ring and having a really tough round in the ring as well. But I was very pleased with myself. I got myself organized. I came to the ATCO Cup with a clean slate on Coolio, and I ended up having a really good round. So I was able to get it back together, and I was really happy with that. So I feel pretty comfortable going into Saturday.
It's Friday, and 21-year-old rookie Emily George and Smart Thinking are out for a hack. But more than that, they're getting ready to write the second chapter in a remarkable start to a Grand Prix career.
This year has been absolutely crazy so far. I'm 21 years old. I competed in my first Grand Prix early March at Spruce Meadows. Didn't have a particularly desirable result. Then headed to Brandon, just planning on doing the open division.
With Emily, I made a last-minute decision to let her go into the Kubota Cup, her first major Grand Prix in Brandon. Having watched her throughout the week, she was on her job, doing well and ready to go.
So we ended up going out for dinner with Jonathan and our families at the keg the night before, and he informed us that, yeah, both of us were going to go, whether we liked it or not. And we were both in the same boat where we just really had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
She was thrilled, I think, just having to have the chance to go.
I was absolutely horrified, and I walked Leopoldo's course. It was big, it was technical. Somehow pulled off a clean round 1, came out freaking horrified. Didn't even bother to learn my jump off, had to quickly learn it, and ended up with a double clean and a win there. I would hope that I would be the most surprised and those around me had a little more faith than I did in my ability, but I have the feeling that everyone was pretty surprised around the board. It was a bit of a fluky win, and everything just came through for me all at the same time. I've always been a type A personality, very compulsive. Definitely helped me clamor onto the sport after my first riding lesson at the age of 8. I was absolutely hooked and there was no letting go. Since then, I've had a lot of good horses, some amazing training, and I've been working with Jonathan for the past 3 years and had some very consistent results. I'm feeling pretty good, a little bit nervous. I really just hope not to let my horse down, and he's one of my best friends. He's an amazing athlete, and I want to be there for him. This here is Smart Thinking, my 10-year-old Irish warm blood. I've had Smarty for 2 years come July, and it's really picked up in the last year. He's come to trust me, and he just keeps trying harder and harder for me. This is a fully developed horse. He's extremely fit right now, really muscular, and definitely ready for any challenge I throw at him. He's very competitive when he gets into the ring. Just like me, he's very stubborn, very type A. He butt heads quite often. He's pretty fussy. He doesn't like to be groomed. He doesn't like you in his personal space. He's an extreme athlete, and he considers himself that for sure. Took a little time to get used to each other, but it's been a fantastic year. As for any hurdles, I think we might have a bit of a trust issue going into tomorrow. Last night in the ATCO Cup, I lost my stirrup going to the last line and gave Smarty a pretty poor ride, so right now I think he's questioning my ability, and hope to go out today, give him a hack. I only have 1 day. I'm going to restore his faith in me, and hopefully that'll pull off for us tomorrow. Now that I'm in first place coming in Edmonton, I really want to take it home tomorrow and win for the West. I want to head to the East Coast and get some really valuable experience against the winner of the East Coast, and I really think this is a good opportunity for me, and I want to bring it home.
As for the rest of the day, Emily will keep relaxing with her ride for a while, then give Smarty the night off.
Hacked him today, felt a little stiff. I'm going to get him out early tomorrow and hope that'll help prepare for the afternoon class.
I've been at the Grand Prix level for about 25 years, and I just love it. It's one of those things they say, if it's in your blood, it stays in your blood, and you just can't get rid of it.
It's Tuesday, 4 days before the Kubota, and Olympic veteran Lisa Carlson is enjoying the calm before the storm.
At Horse Roast, life is a circus. One is our home place, Edmonton. We have 23 horses here. We have 10 students, 8 horses for me to ride, and then a daughter that has to go to Montessori school. So given that today's Tuesday, it's going to be a very busy week here.
How's it going?
But I guess I'm one of these fortunate people. My husband and I both do this, so he balances it quite well with me as far as the students, and he's on the ground setting jumps for me and helping me get ready for the ring as well. My story's a bit of a fairy tale story. I had a horse for my 15th birthday. The horse was 7 years old when I got him, and he started the pony club with me, the hunters, right to the junior jumpers, all the way to the Olympic Games with him. After that, I had a couple horses maybe for a couple of years, and that was it. Since then, not so much, and until the last few years, I had another horse called Alberta, who I was supposed to do the Kubota Cup with, and she got very sick on me and almost died, actually. But she's still recovering, and maybe she'll come back to sport. We don't know.
You know, with somebody like Lisa, when you have as much success young as she did with a horse like Klua, it's a bit of a Disney story. So I think you're going to go through a period of time sort of searching for that next one. Then you actually just realize that you do the business properly, and it'll come along.
Let's get Catalina out. I have a couple horses, hopefully, for the Grand Prix this week. One I got a year ago. Her name is Catalina, an 8-year-old mare. And Catalina's just started the meter 40s this year, so she definitely will go in the Grand Prix. Now, another horse I have called Woody, and Woody's an 11-year-old. And he's just going to start the meter 40s this week, so hopefully Woody will get to go in the Kubota. We'll see. Catalina's a very snappy type. She's almost like a Ferrari of show jump. She's just a beautiful type. Woody, he looks like a homeboy. He's just got his own unique look, and he's Woody. It's really hard to explain it, but I love Woody. And he's a competitor. His heart is bigger than his body. And that's kind of what Woody's about. If you look at the two in the field, you say, that one definitely could jump, which would be Catalina. And you look at Woody and say, he's a little kid's horse. The horsepower is very important, and I'm hoping I've got horsepower now. I mean, I didn't for a long time, and I did in the beginning, so I'm hoping that's there for me. If I had one advantage here, it would be experience. I've been around a lot of courses, so if I see something that I'm familiar with, I'll know how to react to it, where the other ones maybe don't, the younger students in the class. The only advantage they might have is they're not frightened to go so fast in the jump off. It'll even out the playing field in the end.
Wednesday night, it's the open welcome. Lisa and Catalina are up first. It's a good round, although not perfect. The two rails leave Lisa feeling positive. After 9 clean trips through to the jump-off, Woody's next. It's a great ride, clear, and they advance to the jump-off. But not good enough with 4 faults, the pair step out of the money.
It's first time in the meter 40, so I'm really happy.
Thursday, more teaching and more riding. That night, it's the $20,000 ATCO Cup, which sees Woody and Lisa put in a great round, snagging a rail on the Oxer, the last rail.
He was wonderful. The rider wasn't. That was my mistake, the last line.
As for Catalina, it's a tougher round. An early refusal along with 2 rails and a time fault says much for her age and experience level.
She really just gets really nervous where all the people are. So it's just going to take some time for this one. She's a good horse, but it's going to take me a little time.
It's been a week of surprises for this seasoned competitor. After a questionable week with Catalina, Lisa has a tough decision to make.
After last night's performance, I really felt that there was something bothering this horse. It's not normal for her to be that frantic in the ring. She's nervous, but there was no step to her stride, things like that. So I had the vet go over this morning, and she's quite sore in her back. So I've decided I won't go in the Kubota class with her, unfortunately.
Go, Mama!
But ever the trooper, Lisa moves ahead with her other horses. She rides Fans Asia and LaFair in the Friday night speed class. Fans Asia rides fast, earning a 4th place finish.
My mommy was fast, huh?
Yeah, you didn't knock anything.
I did. I had one down.
You still won?
No, mommy's sitting 4th. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And you're going to win?
Not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to get lots of ribbons.
Okay, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Well, I'm actually feeling great about tomorrow. I hacked Woody today, feels super. I wish Catalina was going to go, but unfortunately, as I said it before, she's got a sore back, so she's going to stay in the barn.
It's been a good week. The veterans have performed admirably, while a strong rookie class has distinguished itself as well. Most notably, Haley Alfonso, who won the $20,000 ATCO Cup Thursday night. Meanwhile, over at the Carlson barn, Lisa and Dayton have already started prepping to leave for some quality time, while the horses are just enjoying a quiet morning.
Woody's just having a nap, getting ready for today's class.
As for Kelly, she's busy working out the kinks.
So I'm just tacking up Tulare right now. I already hacked Coolio this morning. The weather is quite bad right now. It's really windy out, which made Coolio really fresh and wild, and so that's a little nerve-wracking and a little bit nervous for this afternoon.
Just like Coolio, smart thinking is also taking it easy. Emily will arrive right on time, and no sooner.
Got Smarty out of his stall bright and early this morning before you boys were awake, about 7:30. He's feeling great. We're both rested up now, ready to go. Going to show in about 10 minutes here, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it home.
It's almost showtime. Peter and the jump crew have got their hands full.
The track looks very tough. Peter's got some traps set out there, and I really think those rookies are going to have to ride. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Big time.
And finally, it's showtime. Of our riders, Kelly and Coolio are first up. It's a tough round. 17 faults in total, 5 time faults along with 12 jumping faults.
A little rough go out there today. I didn't ride my best, and He wasn't so cooperative either. He tried hard, but that's how it goes.
The course proves difficult for both veteran and rookie riders alike. Emily and Smart Thinking head in. It's a good round. The pair ride clean, but a time fault stops them from getting into the jump-off. Had they been 1.64 seconds faster, it would have been a different story. Lisa and Woody get their turn. The second rail gets them early.
The track today was huge. It was 1.45 m, tough, technical. It wasn't what I expected, but I was really happy with Woody. I thought he handled it very well. He had 2 combinations down with both B sections of the combination, which is okay. The rest of it, I thought he jumped super, and I look forward to this horse in the future.
As for the jump-off, it's veteran-dominated, with the exception of rookie Christina Marlin, who finishes in 7th place. In the end, it boils down to defending Western champ Tammy Phillips against American Kyle King and Jonathan Asselin on 2 mounts each. Riding Lolita, Asselin sets the pace with a clear round and a time of 36.18 seconds.
Good day. Finally in the Kubota, man.
Tammy Phillips and Lucas follow with a clear round, but a small buck in one corner proves costly. Her time 1/100th of a second behind Asselin, dropped her into second behind him. As for Kyle King, he posts the fastest round in 33.59 seconds on Estival, but 2 rails cuts him into 3rd place.
The big guy did absolutely fantastic. Proves exactly why he's my coach and who I look up to. He's my role model. Took 1st and 3rd, and to be that consistent is harder than it ever looks.
Final results. With an 8th place finish, Emily George holds her lead in 1st place in the Kubota Cup Western Series with 340 points. Sitting in 2nd place overall, event winner Jonathan Asselin and Lolita are close behind with 332 points. Tammy Phillips and Lucas are sitting in 3rd with 325 points, while Lisa Carlson leaves Edmonton in 27th place and Kelly Koss moves up to 12th place.
It was a great day today. Ended up 8th. Get 6th place points for that between the 1st and Brandon and the points here today. I'm still in 1st for the series, so mission accomplished.
It was really tough. And for Woody, who's only jumped 1.30 m, I was pretty scared, actually. I don't normally get that scared, but I was unsure. But he jumped super.
So today did go as well as I'd hoped it would. I had quite a few faults today. So the walkaway is that I know that my horse can jump the big jumps, and I'm confident that he can do that, as well as I need to work on myself and keep myself quiet. But I'm ready to bring it back at Twin Oaks.
Next week, the Kubota Cup moves to Ottawa, Ontario for the first event in the Eastern Division. Join us as we ride alongside John Pierce, Jan Kendall, and John Kersley in their quest to win the Kubota Cup. Make sure you're along for the ride.
Be on national TV buffing the Dodgers boots. I thought maybe I would.
Is it hard to, this one being a perfectionist, is it hard to get the boots just right?
You know, it's a real challenge.